Hey guys, join me today for my photo of the moon rising behind the Belém Tower. It's a photo that I cannot replicate for at least another 5 years, and in this short video I show you how I planned it, how I shot it, and also how I almost missed it. Enjoy! Alright, so this photo, I got the idea for this just after our last expedition to Dubai and Abu Dhabi that we did with PhotoPills, and where we did some cool shots such as putting the moon just on the top of the Burj Khalifa. And when I was back in Lisbon, I thought let me do something fun here. And there's a very typical photo in Lisbon with the moon, which is the Cristo Rei statue, and to use that. And it's obviously much easier to use like a subject that is elevated and capture that with the moon. But I was thinking let's do something where the moon is just coming above the horizon. So obviously you can only do that if you have a clear line of sight. And I had a spot in mind, I saw this a few times when I was driving by and I saw the moon rising, and I'm like, I wonder if this ever could work. And then actually checking with PhotoPills, I noticed yes, there's this one day in March 2025 when this will line up just perfectly. And so for weeks I had been praying that please, no clouds on that day, let it happen. And let's have a look actually at the PhotoPills app and see how this looks on the map. So let's go right in here. All right, so you can see my black pin is on the subject, the Belém Tower. And for the blue lines are where basically is the moon. So this is now 7:10, 7:09 in the evening. So the moon is rising on the right side of the screen, and I position myself here in Passo de Arcos on that spot, almost in the water, right? So it's almost as far as I can get. And from here, I have a clear line of sight towards the Belém Tower. And then also importantly, behind the Belém Tower, there's a long way of water and clear sight. So in theory, therefore, that should work to shoot the moon behind the Belém Tower. What I also see in the PhotoPills app is actually on top of here that the moon will really be just on the horizon. So at 7:10 it will be 16 meters in the sky, and it will have a massive size of 57.2 meters. This is so big that it will fully engulf the Belém Tower. Considering that we're 6.6 kilometers away, the plan is to shoot it with the 400mm lens and also 1.4 adapter, giving me a total of 560 millimeters. All right, so that's the plan. Now, you may ask, why the Belém Tower? What's special about that? And if you don't know much about Lisbon, for me this is the area of Belém. It's one of the most fascinating parts of the city. And for 3 or 4 years I was fortunate to live actually very close to it in a district called Ajuda. And Belém used to be its own little town that was built during the Age of Discoveries, because they were building a huge, beautiful monastery there. And along with the monastery, they also built the Belém Tower. And the Belém Tower is, nowadays you will have a feeling it's actually very close to the shore, so what's so special about it? But the shore wasn't always there. So the shore used to be actually where the monastery is, and that's still far away from the Belém Tower where it is today. So the Belém Tower used to be an island in the water, which nowadays you can capture if there's a high tide. Then you get the impression that it's fully in the water. But most of the time you can actually walk towards the tower now. So it's a bit different compared to how it was in the 16th century. But the Belém Tower is the place where the discoveries, the ships, were saying their last goodbye before they were heading out to the ocean and ultimately around the globe. And in the Belém Tower itself, they were storing the maps. So this was a very, very important place in Portugal, very heavily guarded, because those maps were that's what you needed to have in order to be able to navigate. And so spies always wanted to get them for the other countries so that they can actually use those routes. And so the Belém Tower, therefore being in the water and being heavily protected, was an important area for this. And so that's why I thought that would be cool to actually do this with the moon, with objects in the sky that back then must have been used for the navigation. And so that's how the idea was born. Okay, let's try to do that. And you notice that the tower is like an L shape. So I thought first okay, let's put the moon just on the foot of it. But yeah, now I'm 6.6 kilometers away. So the moon will actually be significantly bigger than what would just fit into the foot. And so, yeah, once I arrived there at the shooting location, I think I was there like an hour before the shot would happen. There were no other photographers. A friend of mine wanted to make it, but he was still busy at work, so he didn't know if he will be on time. And around me there were just fishermen. So I thought I would be alone there, but there were like 10, 15 fishermen enjoying their evening and hoping to catch some dinner, I guess. And so I was setting up and they were looking like, why is he putting like camera towards nothing? Like the light was pretty dull. There was like no photo to be taken at that moment. It's like there was really nothing special. But the sky looked pretty clear, so it looked like I might get the shot. And I was like setting up two cameras, my old Nikon D850, putting that into interval mode so that it would just shoot while I'm busy with my main camera, the Sony A7R5. And then at some point I'm like having the countdown on my watch and I'm seeing, okay, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, and my phone rings and my friend is calling me like, hey, so I'm finishing work now, I'm actually just coming, how is it looking, do we get it? And I'm looking on the horizon and I just see like this tiny little slice of red coming over and I'm like, oh, that must be the moon. And I'm like, hey, sorry mate, but it's happening just right now. Hey Joe. I'm good. Yeah, the moon is just coming up now, just right now. Yeah. So I'm like, push the button, keep shooting until I get this shot. And yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't get the whole circle of the moon because indeed there was something of a cloud. So thankfully the horizon itself was clear, so I got most of the moon into the frame, but then the moon disappeared behind the cloud. And in that moment I was pretty sad because I'm like, that's the chance for the shot. Like this won't happen again for another 5 years. Like the next time you would need to be with a boat in the water to shoot it because yeah, the alignment just doesn't work any other way. So I'm like, why this one cloud? And I'm busy doing some behind the scenes stories in this time, and there is a fisherman now standing behind me because he's noticed like, wow, okay, the moon looks massive, it looks fantastic, and he was having a look at my camera trying to see how will it look like on the screen there. And I'm busy taking the stories, and then he's actually shouting like, hey, the moon is coming up again. And sure enough, there was like a second moonrise just now. It wasn't rising from the horizon, rising from the horizon. Now it was actually rising from behind the cloud, and now it also wasn't as red anymore as it is when it's just coming over the Earth horizon, but now it had this beautiful yellowish pastel de nata kind of tone. So that looked also pretty cool. And then I took some more shots of actually when the moon was fully visible, so I got my circle. And then as the evening progressed, I also looked up for some different compositions and getting the shot with the Cristo Rey statue and the bridge and the moon still being massive because, yeah, still 6.6 kilometers out from the Belém Tower. And so, yeah, that's the story behind the shot. So here I have now the final images as I processed them. And yeah, before we close off, please, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of this. This has been now my first YouTube video, what I'm planning to make much more in the future. So stay in touch and yeah, let me know what you think, if you enjoyed it, and see you soon.